Shalom, 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 shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash. Give me spiritual video. Call Imla, Alahayinawa, Habanawa, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash. And, man, I can't help but when I look at this photo, think of Michael, the archangel, man, standing up for the people. And, you know, a lot of people go into Michael the Archangel standing up for the people, and this, that, and the third. But like I said, in the time that should be a time of trouble, then Michael shall stand up. What is that going into? Nobody really, nobody said, well, we don't really know and stuff. But really, when you get into it, it's kind of like the same time where the tabernacle of David is being raised up. Not like exact, kind of, but it's really like, not kind of, but like the same time. David being raised up, Michael standing up. What is this going into? Like it says, dragon that was not found in any place of heaven anymore. Like, Yahweh prophesied and spoke about how I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Talk about how that was cast down to earth. And I just think of different scriptures, Michael standing up. I think of Michael, raising, I think of Michael raising up, I ain't gonna say raising up the elect, but drawing out the power of the elect, man. Coming to different members of the tabernacle of David, coming to the different 100 foot of 1,000, ones that may be left that's allotted to receive power on this side, to draw the power out of them, to help them and draw the power out, and to speak about Michael and his angels, Scripture speak about Revelation 12, but then it says after that, then salvation has come. So I can't help to think of, Michael, when him not, he not coming down just in the time of Jacob's trouble, just fighting for Israel, but more so helping Israel, teaching them, the men of the Lord, the art of war, and drawing the power out of them. That's what I just can't help but to think, because it's literally like this. It's talking about the time of trouble, and that, most I said, in that day I read the tabernacle of David, and Jeremiah 30. And then, when you go into that time, like time Yahweh Shah, because the same time that Yahweh Shah was in, at that time, it was time for, hour of temptation. Yahweh Shah went through an hour of temptation, and we're coming into an hour of temptation. And that time, it wasn't time for the servants to fight, but if the tabernacle of David being raised up, that's the kingdom, that's Yahweh Shah's kingdom, that's the throne, he's going to sit on the throne of David. The servants are going to fight. This is why the Most High speak about a standard being lifted. This is why Yahweh Shah speak about the power. Okay. Yahweh Shah spoke about, you shall do these works and greater works than these shall you do, because I go to my Father. So I can't help but think about how Michael, the archangel, will play a part in that, his role in that. The prophecy says he's going to stand up. The prophecy also says that there was war in heaven, Michael and his angels. Okay, I'm gonna read this though. Okay, this is Luke 22:43. And there appeared an angel unto him from heaven, strengthening him. So Yahweh Shah was going through his time before his crucifixion. He was going through the hour of temptation, man. This is why. Let me get it. All right, this is Luke 22:37. For I say unto you that this that is written must be accomplished in me, and he will reckon among the transgressors. For things concerning me have an end. And they said, Lord, behold, here are 2 swords. And he said unto them, it is enough. Verse 39. And he came out and went as he was wont to the Mount of Olives, and his disciples also followed him. And when he was at the place, he said unto them, pray that ye enter not in temptation. And he was withdrawn from them about a stone's cast, and kneeled down and prayed, saying, Father, if thou be willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done. And there appeared an angel unto him from heaven, strengthening him. And being in agony, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat was as it were great drops of blood falling down to the ground. And when he rose up from prayer and was come to his disciples, he found them sleeping for sorrow. And he says to them, why sleep ye? Rise and pray, lest ye enter into temptation. And while he yet spake, behold, a multitude, and he said, and while he yet spake, behold, a multitude, that was called Judas, one of the 12, went before them and drew near to Yahushua to kiss him. But Yahushua said unto Judas, betrayest thou the Son of Man with a kiss? When they were about him, saw that would follow, they said unto him, Lord, shall we smite with a sword? And one of them smote the servant of the high priest, cut off his right ear. And Yahushua answered and said, suffer thee therefore, and touched his ear and healed him. Then Yahushua said to the chief priests and captains of the temple and elders, which were come to him, but ye come out as against a thief with swords and staves? When I was daily with you in the temple, you stretched forth no hands against me, but this is your hour and the power of darkness. And this is what it's going into, man. You know? But see, this time there's going to be a standard. All right? See, this time the kingdom is, this time what Yahushua says is going to be fulfilled. You know, when he said, upon this rock will I build my church. You know, he was speaking to David, man. Okay, the power is coming. The tabernacle of David is about to be raised up, if you will. All right, and I believe Michael is gonna be strengthening the elect, man. That's what I feel like he's gonna come and do. It just makes sense. Daniel 12:1, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince will stand up for the children of our people, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, even to the same time. At that time, thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. You know, and let me see. All right, this is 2 Maccabees 15 and 12. All right, this is the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 15, verse 12. And this was his vision. All right, so this is a vision of Ananias, all right, the high priest. And this was his vision, that Ananias, who had been high priest, a virtuous and a good man, reverent in conversation, gentle in condition, well-spoken also in exercise from a child in all points of virtue, holding up his hands, prayed for the whole body of the Jews. This done in like manner, there appeared a man with gray hairs and exceeding glorious, who was of a wonderful and excellent majesty. So who is this man? Is this an angel? Or who? So let's find out. Verse 14, then Ananias answered, saying, this is a lover of the brethren who prayeth much for the people and for the holy cities, to wit, Jeremiah the prophet God. Whereupon Jeremiah, holding forth his right hand, gave to Judas a sword of gold, and it says, and in giving it spake thus, take this holy sword, a gift from God, a gift from Yahweh, with the which thou shalt wound the adversaries. Thus being well comforted by the words of Judas, which were very good, and able to stir them up to valor, and to encourage the hearts of the young men, they determined not to pitch camp, but courageously to set upon them, and manfully to try the matter by conflict, because the city and the sanctuary and the temple were in danger. For the care that that they took for their wives and their children, their brethren and folks was in the least account with them, but the greatest and principal fear was was for the holy temple. Also they that were in the city took not the least care, being troubled for the conflict abroad. And now, when as all looked what should be the trial, and the enemies were already come near, and the army was set in array, and the beasts conveniently placed, and the horsemen set in wings, Maccabeus, seeing the coming multitude and the diverse preparation of armor, and the fierceness of the beast, stretched out his hand toward heaven, and called upon the Lord that worketh wonders, knowing that the victory cometh not by arms, but even as it seemeth good to him, he even giveth to such as are worthy. Therefore, in his prayer, he said after this manner, O Lord, thou didst send thy angel in the time of Hezekiah, king of Judea, and didst slay the host of Sennacherib, 185,000. Wherefore now also, O Lord of heaven, send a good angel before us, for a fear and dread unto them. And through the might of thy arm, let those be stricken with terror that come against thy holy people to blaspheme. And he ended thus. Then Nicanor and they that were with him came forward with trumpets and songs, and Judas and his company encountered the enemies with invocation and prayer, so that fighting with their hands and praying unto Yahweh with their hearts, they slew no less than 35,000 men. For through the appearance of Yahweh, they were greatly cheered. Now when the battle was done, returning again with joy, they knew that Nicanor lay dead in his harness. Then they made a great shout, and they know his praising the Almighty in their own language. And Judas, who was ever the chief defender of the citizens, both in body and mind, and continued his love toward his countrymen all his life, could manage to strike off Nicanor's head and his hand with his shoulder, and bring them to Jerusalem. So when he was there and called them of his nation together and set the priest before the altar, he sent for them that were of the tower, and shewed them vile Nicanor's head, and the hand of that blasphemer which with proud brags he had stretched out against the holy temple of the Almighty. And when he had cut out the tongue of the ungodly Nicanor, he commanded that they should give it by pieces unto the fowls, and hang it up the reward of his madness before the temple. So every man prays toward the heaven, the glorious Lord, saying, Blessed be he that have kept his own place undefiled. He hanged also Nicanor's head upon the tower, an evident and manifest sign unto all of the help of the Lord. And they ordained all with a common decree in no case to let that day pass without solemnity, but to celebrate the 30th day of the 12th month, which is the Syrian tongue is called Dor, the day before Mordecai's day. Thus went it with Nicanor, and from that time, from the Hebrews had the city and that power. And here will I make an end. Okay. And if I had done well, as it is fitting the story, it is that which I desired, but exceedingly and merely it is that which I could attain unto. For as it is hurtful to drink wine or water alone, as wine mingled with water is pleasant and delighteth the taste, even so speechly finally from delighteth the ears of them that read the story. And here shall be an end. Okay, and everything, all this is a shadow of things to come. You know, Ananias had a vision of a man with glorious in apparel. You know, Jeremiah giving a sword of God. You know, it was representing really an angel. And then, you know, had Judas stirring up the people, you know, asking the Lord to send an angel. And, you know, they got the victory, man. You know, so what is it going to be in this time? You know, and I can't help to think of this, you know. But anyway, closing out, giving our praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakak, Wadash. Shalom, man. Shalom.